Hello everybody, it's Julia with Senior Susie Stamps, and I'm back again today with my Misty and my wooden rubber stamps. We talked yesterday about using some of this diamond dot sticky map so that you can use your rubber stamps on your Misty. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about that today because it's a little challenging when you have a stamp like this that's not straightforward as to where it actually is going to stamp. Now on this one, the foam on this stamp is pretty well gone. And let's look at this one in comparison. You see how much foam you still have on that one? And you see how easy this one would be to figure out where you were going to stamp. Well, let's pull this one and see. I'm going to throw that wooden piece out. So you can tell if you have your stamp here and you put it on your stamp positioner, well, it's going to be a little challenging to make sure you get it all squared up the way you want to. So let me show you a fairly easy way to do that. Back in the day, we had an apparatus. I better move my coffee, hadn't I? Oh, that would be disastrous. Back in the day, we had an apparatus called, it was a jig. It was a stamping jig. And so I'm going to put this on a panel in the approximate spot. But here's the thing. I don't want you to put it like you would over here because you've got to have some room to adjust your paper. So we're going to put it here kind of more or less where we want it. I'm going to use one of my corners for my Misty and put that in that way. And then I'm going to put this is a piece of clear packaging. It came over some little butterflies that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I just cut it down to where it was square, and that's the important thing. And then I put a little red X on the corner, and I'm going to drop that down into the corner of my little Misty corners, and then I'm going to pick this stamp up with my Misty using my little sticky mat that we talked about yesterday. There we go. And I'm just going to stamp. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect at this point. And you're going to get the reason why here right now. Because I'm going to stamp directly onto this piece of acetate. And I'm just using Memento black ink. And then I'm going to move my paper to where I really want this to be for printing. So I would like to have mine be a little higher on the page. And that looks like it's probably centered, but it looks like it might need to go a little bit that way, don't you think? Because it's just a little bit cattywampus. So this corner is square in this corner, which is square in that corner. And now I'm going to pull this one off, re-ink my stamp, stamp it down, and there we go. And if I didn't get a good impression, I'll just go right back in, just like you do with any other stamp on your Misty, and stamp it again. There you go. And so this is all nice and squared up. It's at the height that I want it, and it's in the center. And this little jig, I can change that paper out, put my jig back in, get another piece of quarter panel, and let's say this time I want it set a little further down on the card. I'm going to check this corner, and then I'm going to see if it looks square or not, and that looks a little more square to me than if I were to have it all the way down here. So now I'm going to pull my little jig out, ink my stamp, and stamp it again. If I need to stamp one more time, I've got that flexibility because I'm using my Misty with my rubber stamp. And there we go. So there's two different ways here to use this little jig that I made. You can wipe it off and reuse it however many times you want to, and you've got perfect placement of your sentiment even though you're using an older rubber stamp where you can't tell where your sentiment is going to hit on the page. So that's a very, very helpful tool to have in your toolbox. And I thought I'd share that with you today. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.